Hey Alba amigos, it's me Celeste, yoga teacher, physiotherapist, and also neuroscience student. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you some of the mistakes I made when I first started teaching yoga that I really don't want you to make the same mistakes. However, I'd like to add a quick disclaimer in that really we are all so different, and the most important thing you can do is teach authentically. So if any of the tips that I share with you today don't fully resonate with you, or it's actually really working for you to do the opposite, don't fight that, go with it. It's the most important thing in the world that you feel comfortable running your business the way you choose. So the first mistake I made when I started teaching is I didn't plan my classes properly. Now look, 1,000,000% there's a bunch of very successful teachers out there. They just rock up and they teach off the cuff and it's amazing. But for me, it just didn't really work. I'm quite dyslexic and I found that, sometimes I would teach this epic sequence on one side and then I'd be like, okay, now I've got to do the left leg. And my brain would just go blank. I would completely forget what was going to happen on the other side. And in all honesty, I felt so embarrassed because people are there spending their hard-earned cash, their precious time, and basically I just felt like I'd let them down. I also felt like I was lacking this congruence, this feeling that the playlist, the theme, the sequence married up to the warm-up and the cool-down, that continuity in the practice was not quite there. It's like things didn't make sense or that they were just a bit too random for me. And so to combat this, I knew that I wanted to turn up well prepared with a class that was really planned out to fit together. And every little part of it had some thought behind it. And I also just wanted to give myself that time to talk through the words of my sequence and move it in my body to check that it actually feels good. So, second mistake that I made is I tried to copy other people. I tried to pretend I was another teacher. And they say fake it till you make it, but in this instance, it's not really sustainable because A, people sense when you're not fully being yourself, and B, it's just exhausting. So what I'd like to encourage you to do is even if you think, my vibe is not really yoga, show up and just do that. Like, I'm so loud, I talk very fast, I love learning things, so I'm always like putting loads of information into my classes, and I love house music. I just think it's great. So I'm always playing a banging house playlist, and it's just something that I really love. And what I found is doing all those non-yoga-y things is that I've attracted a group of students that also love those non-yoga-y things. So the final thing that I want to encourage you not to do is a lot of people make something and they expect some kind of result from that. They're like, I'm gonna make this amazing class and loads of people need to come. But actually, I wanna leave you with the words from Rick Rubin because he so eloquently sums up that when you create your class, it should just be this beautiful piece of art that you care about. And it's irrespective if anybody else likes it. That doesn't matter. You just showing up as yourself, loving what you've done is enough.
Something I say in the book is that the audience comes last. And I believe that. I'm not making it for them. I'm making it for me. And it turns out that when you make something truly for yourself, you're doing the best thing you possibly can for the audience. So much of why, if you go to the movies, so many big movies just not good. It's because they're not being made by a person who cares about it. They're being made by people who are trying to make something that they think someone else is going to like. And that's not how art works. That's something else. It's not art. That's commerce. So if we're making art, it's almost like a diary entry. So could I be concerned that someone else might not like my diary entry? It doesn't make sense. It has nothing to do with them. My diary entry has nothing to do with anyone else. So everything we make as artists are essentially diary entries.
So good. Now, I'm a yoga teacher trainer. Along with Hannah, we've got our yoga school, Alba Yoga Academy. And one of the things we're always encouraging people to do is never teach like us, but to really shine your own true colors. Like whatever that looks like, make sure you practice doing that right from the beginning. And I hope that you, listening to this video right now, take a moment to just think about yourself and think, what do I love about me? And what kind of different interests have I got that form my personality? Because based off of those elements, I promise you, if you really harness them, they can truly help you to create work that you love to share with the world. And eventually that will attract your group of people.